Welcome to Truck and Travel. I'm Derek.
I'm Cinnamon.
This video is sponsored by
Hyfield.
Hyfield. If you're interested in doing what we do and driving one of these trucks for a living, reach out to Hyfield Trucking at the link and phone number in the video description. Let them know Truck and Travel sent you. Come on. All right, this load picks up on Friday in Brooks, Kentucky, and it drops off on Monday in Reno, Nevada. It's a continuation on basically from the previous week's load. Since it drops off the next week, which is this current week, that's why we're talking about it now, because that's how FedEx Custom Critical does it. And so since that's our experience, that's how we're gonna present them to you fine folks. All right, Cinnamon. They want to know about this load. So
this load was 2 pieces or pallets, and it was 587 pounds, so pretty light. It was a temperature load, but it was also a hazmat load, which means that it's extra requirements, extra going over the paperwork, making sure everything's right, and then having to call into the hazmat team to make sure everything was right on their end too. So the temperature for this load, the set point was 22 degrees Celsius, and that is 71 degrees Fahrenheit. So what kind of miles are we looking at, Derek?
We did, this one's a doozy. We don't do these too often, but I enjoyed them going out to Reno, Nevada. Great sights, open highway, higher speed limits.
It's Derek's favorite.
Yeah. The run miles was 2,117 miles, but if you do the deadhead in there too, you're looking at 2,257 miles. All right, Cinnamon. Let's see how we did on the pay breakdown.
That's only 140 extra miles, like, for the deadhead, so right. That's pretty good. Like, yep. So the difference between the loaded and with the deadhead is not going to be that different. So the loaded miles, the pay for that was $3.69, and then for all miles, so run miles and the deadhead miles, makes it $3.47.
Yeah, which
per
is
mile. So, which
is really amazing, and that's how if you're able to get these over the weekend loads, it really pays off. Sometimes it's not easy to get, you know, great pay over the weekend. Usually it's harder than, but I think we scored on this one.
It was really, I'll go over how much it was in a second, but I just wanted to point out that it was really nice because this load you can do in 3 days, but since you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday to do, and it's 3 hours, you know, difference between our Eastern time that that we stay on that schedule. Yep. It's a very relaxed drive. Like, you're not, you know, trying to pump out the miles fast or anything like that. Like, it's just very relaxed, so which is awesome. So. Yep. This load, it was one that we bid on because they don't usually give it for this, but we got it for $7,821.55.
Look, we're gonna shake things up.
All right, we was fortunate enough to get a second load. It actually picked up on Wednesday, so we had a little bit of time to get there, but it picks up all the way over and down in New Mexico on Wednesday, and then drops off the following day, Thursday, in Colorado. All right, Cinnamon, go ahead and break down this.
So this one was just 1 piece.
Yep. And
it was only 30 pounds.
Yep. Pretty unique.
Yeah.
It was a briefcase.
Yeah.
Of some sort. It wasn't like a regular business briefcase, but it's that size and structure.
Yeah.
Looks like a protective case that you carry with a handle.
But of course, like, Derek and I strapped it down really good and everything. Yeah. And whenever we do that, especially for a very small box, people usually laugh at us, and we're like, we treat it like it's worth $1 billion, like, just because it's our responsibility now that it's on our truck. So. And
you really don't know what some of this stuff is worth because they're paying for exclusive use to this truck, so that way you don't have any other freight in there and nobody else is around it except for them and the person they wanted to receive it. So
it's very important. So this load was a temperature load. The set point was 15 degrees Celsius, which ends up being 60 degrees Fahrenheit. So what kind of miles were we looking at with this one? Okay,
so the run miles on this was 432 miles, but the all miles, if you include the deadhead to pick it up, and then the run, it ends up being 1,456 miles.
Which is over 1,000 miles for the deadhead.
That is funny, but if you can make it make sense, like, it's got to balance out. That's all that matters. All right, Cinnamon.
That.
How'd the wheels turn on this one?
Okay, so the pay per loaded miles, or the run miles, was $4.23. So that would have been great if we were in the area, but since we had over 1,000 miles for the deadhead, it brought it down to $1.26 per mile, which, if you guys have watched our videos before, we tie everything in together, and plus it gets us over towards a different area, and we'll go from there. But so this load paid $1,828 flat.
Yes, and I like to keep moving sometimes. I don't like to hang out at truck stops.
He's not one that can just sit and wait, like...
Yeah, because we stay on other opposite sleep schedules for if we get something last minute, we're ready to go.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, not everybody does that.
Yeah.
They usually change their sleep schedule and hang out together.
Yeah, but it's really hard on your body, and... Yeah.
You gotta love it.
Well, plus with the cats, we had cats with us, and so if both of us are trying to sleep at the same time, they're like, it's party time, and they start doing their laps or their zoomies or whatever you want to call it, like, and so there's getting no sleep when we both try and lay down at the same time. So
you really gotta love trucking and have a good setup that works for you.
Yep.
These are hard moves to explain to people.
It's a problem you think we need to explain ourselves.
Don't. Okay?
I'm gonna see this thing through for better or worse.
All right, I'm really excited about this week. So far in trucking, breaking these down, this is our best week. Pretty excited about that. Cinnamon, let them know how we did this week.
Okay, so if you're looking at all the miles that were traveled this week, it's 3,713 miles.
Which is way more than we normally do.
Which is way more than what we usually do.
Yeah.
The pay for all the miles, even though, like, you know,
we ruined it on that last
last one, but if you're looking at all the miles all together, was $2.60 per mile. So for the week,
yeah, $2.60. I love that.
It's better than what our goal is.
Yeah.
So so for this week, we grossed $9,649.55, which that is the most that we've done in a week.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it'd be awesome to have weeks like that all the time, but
I think it's good to have at least a $5,000 a week. I think it's great to have a $7,000 week, and it is truly amazing if you can go above that. So this is pretty exciting.
Yep. Oh.
All right, now we're going to give you the numbers, the averages, and the totals of our career so far in trucking as an expediter. All right, the total amount of loads we've done in expediting for week 17 is 51 loads.
The total weight that we have hauled is 50,468 pounds.
The total amount of pallets or pieces that has been in the box of the truck we've been using is 117.
Since we had the one load that was only 30 pounds, it brought our average down for the weight, the average weight per load that we take. So it's down to 989 pounds. Which
feels pretty legit if you ask me, looking back. The total amount of miles that we've done in the truck so far is 44,506 miles.
And if you're looking at per week, the average mile per week that we have traveled is 2,618 miles.
That's gone up a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, the average pay per week, it went up a little bit, but our average pay per week is $5,898.95.
So at this point, we have grossed to the truck. We hit over 100,000,
which is pretty exciting.
Yeah. So so far, up until this point, our gross to the truck is $100,000, or $100,282.19.
Yeah, and just remember, you go with Hyfield and use them as a mentorship. You're great chance, probability, and if you love trucking,
that you'll hit that before
you'll do better than us. Just keep that in mind. All right, one of my favorite numbers right here is the average pay per all miles, and we're sitting at $2.25. That includes the deadhead, but that's pretty exciting, right, Cinnamon?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I miss Reno. I love going out there. As soon as I'm leaving, I'm sad. It's
whenever he'd be like, we got a load, I'm like, yeah, my favorite place. Oh, we're going to Reno.
Yeah.
Like, That's Derek's favorite place.
Yeah, and I love seeing Arizona as well.
I
That's pretty out
love
there.
Arizona, the palm trees, obviously.
Colorado is nice to look at.
It is, and Utah has beautiful land, like just their formations and stuff. But I will say for Reno, I always like when you're going into it. Well, usually when we went into it, you couldn't see, like it wasn't daytime, it was nighttime. But when we were leaving, you could see like where the wild horses were.
Oh, yeah.
We'd always try and see if we could see them whenever we go by like that one part that has like the bridge
The
and
open
stuff
highway,
and
yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. I love the horses.
Yeah, that's fun. All right, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. God bless you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye. On to the next one.
On to the next one. Later.
I was waiting for it.
See ya. You can go ahead and hit stuff on the record.